last week we did a lot of talking about Gareth and the squad he picked and his favourites and blah, blah, blah. And as we recorded, he's won 2 games in a row, beating the current European champions. Let's start with England. And there's lots to branch off from there, you know, Mr. Kane, etc.
Are we ready to admit his Prem bias?
Who, Gareth?
Gareth Southgate.
I don't think that's even I don't think that anyone can deny it. I don't think he would deny it if someone asked him. I mean, I'd love to ask Gareth a few questions, but
is it a Prem bias or is it just a bias for a select few players? Because certain players in the Prem will say he's not got a Prem bias because he's not picking us.
Yeah, that's true.
So is it a Prem bias?
Well, I saw a quote that he came out and said that, you know, essentially his parameter for, you know, picking the players is you have to be playing, number one, you have to be playing Champions League. And then ideally you do have to be playing regularly in the Premier League.
So how did Harry get in there?
This is it. So that's why I'm a bit perplexed, because you've got Fikayo Tomori, who's playing regular Champions League ball and in a title winning squad. You have
Folarin Balogun.
Hey, okay.
And by the way, this is about being picked for the squad. We're not saying no one said anyone should start. No one should, anyone should get directly in the team. This is about being selected for the squad. There are people who say when Fikayo has, you know, turned up on these shows, he hasn't covered himself in glory.
That's an understatement. That's an understatement. The thing is, with Gareth, every week, what is he watching? He's watching a Prem game. So playing in Serie A, you're going to be seen less often. But so is it a thing of out of sight, out of mind?
How does Jude Bellingham get in the squad?
Yeah, exactly.
I think Jude's got credit in the bank.
No, but you can't
just from his performances for England. So
how did he get in the first place?
How did he get there? Because I think he was pressured. So I think with Gareth Southgate, not a lot of the squad is picked based on pressure, but there's a few players in the squad that he's picked because their performances have warranted them to be picked, and he's been put under pressure by the English media. Bellingham was one of them. Maddison, definitely one of them. And I think Tony to an extent as well. Like, I think it got to the point where he couldn't ignore Tony anymore because he got called up for the last squad before this round, I think of the Nations. And he left him on the bench for 2 games when you could arguably say he was in better form than Harry Kane at the time. Certainly Wilson for Newcastle. So I think it gets to a point where certain players are pressured into the squad, and then if they perform, he's like, all right, then I'll keep them around, which has happened with Bellingham.
Yeah. So my issue with that is twofold. One, why do you even have to get to that point where it's pressure, right? You're in that position. You're there to kind of cherry pick what the best is to you, right? It doesn't have to be the best performing, what the best is to you to give you a chance of winning. I do agree. We'll never be able to prove it. It's one of the subjective things, but I do think Gareth Southgate does get to that pressure point. And just to answer your point, Daz, at the end of the day, he is the head coach of one of the biggest international teams in the world. Probably got more resources than 99% of all the international teams. He can have any video analysis he wants. He can expense any flights he wants to any games. So yes, proximity-wise, he will see more of Premiership players. But to be honest, the difference between watching Tomori on video at AC Milan or whoever on video at Man United because you weren't there yourself, it's the same difference.
But he would a Man United player, he's gonna see him live. He can go to a Premiership game, see 5, 6, 7 players that he could possibly put in his squad, or rather flying away to Italy to see one player.
And then you can watch tomorrow.
But on the videos, is he going to sit there and watch 90 minutes of tomorrow's game? I don't think he will.
It doesn't have to be him.
Yeah, you've got a coaching staff, an extensive one. You're the English national team.
And someone like Tomori, he's been in the squad though. He's been in the squad, so he has called him up. Maybe he didn't perform in training. Maybe he didn't like what he saw when he was in the squad.
But I think what people struggle is when they see other people in the same position who haven't played as much, who when they have played at club level have not been of a certain standard, and then you have someone who has gone to one of the top 3, we would say Italy is one of the top 3 leagues in Europe, right? You've got Spain, Italy, and the Prem, right? He's performed in that league. He's performed in a team that's won the title there. He's maintained his place over 2 or 3 seasons, yet other people still not only get picked in the squad ahead of him, they start games ahead of him.
Can
And I
we
think that's what people struggle with.
Can we name names? Who are we?
Harry Maguire.
Harry
I
Maguire.
call it Harry Maguire.
Eric Dyer.
Eric Dyer.
Okay.
Yeah. So I
Phillips.
think that's what people struggle with. Again, he could turn around to us and be like, "Well,
To your
lads, have you
point.
seen my results?"
To your point, there was another quote that I saw in relation to Balogun, where he said that he hasn't played enough in the Premier League this season to be considered
Southgate's quote.
Yeah.
directly from Southgate.
Yeah, that's why tomorrow's not getting picked in.
And it's laughable because if you look at the squad, you've got Calvin Phillips, who's managed 56
Doesn't make
minutes.
sense, bro.
We touched on this last time, but he's managed 56 minutes across 3 games all season, but he's still considered good enough to play. So if Balogun's doing the job, which he is at Reims, he's scoring, he's putting in performances, then one would think that he's in contention, or at least be in the conversation.
I'll be honest. I would prefer it. Sorry, keep 1 second. I'd prefer it if Gareth just said how it was. There are people that I'm going to pick because regardless, I know what I'm going to get out of them. And there are other spots that are not filled by those people. So if you're good enough,
That's exactly what I was
and
gonna
the
say.
circumstances fall, I will put you in there.
That's
As a
why
football
they'll
fan,
win
I think
nothing.
that's rubbish.
That's why they don't win nothing.
But that's what he should come out and say. All of this politicking is what leads to all of this debate. Do you understand? If he just came out and just said, look, this is my thing. Like I can imagine whenever, it was the same when Conte was Italy manager, or whenever Jose Mourinho becomes a national, bruv, this is what we're going to get. I pick him because I like him, innit? When he turns up, he does what I want. He might not play well for that manager, and Jose will probably name him. Doesn't play well for John at local London FC. But when he comes for me, he plays well. And he will just say it, and that's that. So, but
So
What
then-
about not playing at all though?
yeah, no, I agree.
That's mad.
No, I agree.
So
But
then,
the problem is, I know I keep going back to it. He's probably been the most successful England manager of recent times.
Probably.
Easily.
Easily. Not
He is,
probably.
but
Yeah, all right,
you
easily.
still question
Yeah, he's questionable.
No,
What
he's
is-
still-
what-
you can still question.
you can still question what
I'm
he's
not saying
done
he
and
can't,
how
but
he's
he's definitely.
Yeah.
like. If you touch,
Yes, there's a
That's not his
no,
fault.
it's true. That's not his fault, but there's nuance to it.
He's the
it.
luckiest, fine, but that's not his fault.
yeah, if
Yeah,
you
there's
touch on the
nuance to it.
performances,
Mm.
even if you take the 2 games that they just played on Thursday and yesterday,
Sunday.
same. Take the even going back to the semi-final of the previous World Cup and the final of the Euros. First half, excellent. Game management, sat back. On Saturday,
same thing.
playing dominating.
Same thing.
Dominating them. Come out for the second half, sat back, didn't
Yeah.
push on.
So
Same
what are you
thing.
expecting?
Yesterday.
What are you expecting exactly?
Kill the game.
Yeah, but if Gareth Southgate is basic, yeah, at best, even though he's been England's best manager to date,
Yeah.
or should I say in recent times, he's still basic. So you're expecting more than what he's giving you.
But you've got to learn. If it happens in 2018, 2021, when the final was, we're now in 2023. I think you've got the right to say, if you're winning a game, a crucial big game, why are you not able to see it out?
But they did see how they got 6 out of 6, 6 points out of 6 the other day.
No, great, but
Yeah.
I'm talking about the performances in the second half.
Because
If they're up,
Italy away,
if they're up against better opposition, which happened, Croatia were arguably better than us in the World Cup cycle. Italy weren't really better than us in the Euros, but we let them back into the game.
We sat back
Again,
as soon
and
as we scored.
Mancini, he changed a few, he did some tweaks.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think Southgate has done really well, but there's something missing when it's about taking us to the next level when it counts, and I don't see it.
This is
ever
probably
changing.
this is probably as good as he's ever going to get him.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
So
I agree.
I think again you're asking for more than what he's capable of giving you.
But if you're his employers, right?
Yeah.
Do you see yourself winning in this cycle? So the cycle, right? We've had a World Cup and a Euro is gone. So next cycle is another Euros and a World Cup.
No.
Does Gareth improve on his best so far?
He probably doesn't.
And if
But-
he doesn't, why don't you make a change and build on what he's
And
built?
bring in who?
I think he
We'll get
gets
to that.
there or thereabouts.
That's the question.
Because I think this will be his last tournament. The next Euros will be his
Okay,
last
fair
tournament.
enough.
I don't think he goes to the World Cup.
Okay.
And I believe they're going to be there or thereabouts. They're going to be quarterfinal, semi-final, final. Just depends. I think that last little bit that they need to get over the line, I don't think no one can determine that. That's going to come down to your piece of luck
Well,
or on the day someone doing something special. Whatever happens, I believe they're going to be there or thereabouts.
So just to challenge that, right? So yes, I agree that if you get to the final, a lot of what you have done or what you do has worked. Yeah, you got to the final.
Yeah,
but is it fair to challenge and just say at that level, yes, you can have luck, you can have someone do something wonderful, but actually, how you manage that game, how you execute your plan, etc., that all factors as well. That's why there have been, over a period of time, people who have won more than others, right? So that's why I asked the question originally and saying, if you're the FA, take the fan noise out of it. If you actually don't feel like he can better his best to date, which is now a major tournament final or Euros final, World Cup final is a different proposition. What I don't understand in football sometimes is someone has to be falling, someone has to be failing before you change. Sometimes actually, this is great. Thank you, brought us this far. I'm gonna,
get someone in
who was done that. You asked a great question. Who else? Then we get to another problem. I don't see England, whilst I'm alive, unless they get really bad, employing a national team manager who's not English.
That's exactly what I was thinking. And then based on that, what other English managers even come to mind to think, okay, well, they can probably be better than Southgate?
No, it's a fair challenge.
It has to be either a foreign manager is currently already with another national team, or you just have to take a potluck with another English manager.
Or you wait until the Potters of this world are ready to do that.
That's probably the best shout.
Yeah, fair enough.
Probably the best shout. And I don't think he's going to do much better than Southgate.
Fair enough. Just to go on.
No, I was just going to say that I think England are in a kind of a good position in terms of the Euros, that a lot of the other European teams are in transition.
Yeah, true.
So to Dad's point, I think they'll be there or thereabouts, but I don't think like it's necessarily based on their performances. I just think it's based on what's out there in the current European national team.
Do you think the talent pool is big enough?
For England? Oh yeah, for sure. Like I think this is one of the best England squads of players.
Despite Southgate coming out and saying we're going to have to start looking into the Championship.
I think that's a cop-out.
Are you really trusting what Southgate is saying? Based on everything he says?
I know, but that's why I'm
only take him by what he says.
No, I heard the percentage. So when he started the job, apparently it was 39% of English players in the Premier League, and now it's down to 33%.
Yeah.
So that's what he was basically saying, that the talent pool is getting less.
But he's only picking from 10%, so it doesn't matter.
Well, so this is where people love throwing out stats, and I just think, okay, that's fine. My thing would be, number one, is that better or worse than other countries in a similar position? If I think about it, yes and no, but so Italy, Germany and Spain have probably got more of their own nationals playing in the league than foreigners, to be honest, right? So he's probably looking at that and said, actually, of the other top leagues, we've got the lowest. However, to Keith's point, there are plenty of players who are playing in the Premiership, playing at a high level, and it's clear to everybody that you're not selecting them. James Maddison, what did it take for him to get in that squad? It took injuries, it took
3 years.
Pressure. The guy was playing out of his skin at a club like Leicester, and he could not get in that squad for love nor money. But Jack Grealish, who himself has admitted that since he's turned up at Man City, he hasn't really done the business, was getting in the squad every single time. So for football fans, it's just interesting to hear Gareth come out and almost lament how big or not the pool is. But some would argue you're not even managing the pool you've got to a certain level. Because then that brings, again, I'd be interested to see what the future of England for Maddison is. If he maintains his current performance level, I'd be very interested to see what that means for the squad, because people will come back from injury, people will be available, and I want to see what Gareth does with him. And then secondly, there's the Folarin Balogun conversation as well that Isaac brought up earlier. He's playing in a top 5 European league. I've shifted the goalpost a little bit, but that's how we refer to you. He's the top scorer in that league. And if you listen to the commentary that's coming out of France, so people that don't have an Arsenal bias, they don't have Rems. Who has a Rems bias? No, we don't know anyone from them, right? And they're all saying, to my surprise as well, that he looks the real deal. And even if he doesn't repeat again, the way he's played this season is like a top level striker. Why? And Nigeria sniffing around a little bit less because you got Osimhen and Nachos and other talents. America have invited him to just come and have a look at the training camp. No pressure. Book your holiday. He's there now, right? He's been there for the international break.
In Orlando.
Yeah, and he's just have a look, mate. No pressure. This is the facilities. This is where your name will be. But we didn't say that. Don't worry. You know, we haven't got any decent strikers for the next 2 cycle of tournament. It could be you. I think it would be a travesty. And again, I'm not the first to say it if you listen to other commentary. If England miss out on him, I think that's a big failing on his part.
I mean, let's be honest. If we look at the list ahead of him, the list of strikers ahead of him, Kane is what? How old is he?
33 now, I want to say 30.
No, it's like 30. I think he's 30.
Right?
I think he just runs like it. Okay, cool.
He's 30.
Coming right behind him, we've got Ivan Toney, right? Marcus Rashford can play there. Callum Wilson.
Yeah.
I think Wilson's a bit up there in age as well.
Fair enough. They're up there in age. They're already established ahead of Balogun, right?
Yes.
But he made a comparison.
Is it realistic? Is it realistic to sit and wait in line for your turn, or does he just do what we all think he should do? Well, I can't speak for everyone. What I think he should do is, and just accept the offer from the US men's team.
So, what did he say? What did he say on his post, his last post or something?
Oh, go where you're wanted.
Go where you're wanted.
Yes.
So what did he want from England? All he wanted was a call up.
Yeah.
He didn't expect to play. Kane's there. He knows that. But go where you're wanted.
And he's already switched
the
leaders
once. We're doing a lot of inference though. You might not have been talking about it.
Of course. But again, just to put some facts in the convo, he played for America at youth level. Then he switched the leaders to England. He's played lots of times for England 21s. Again, we know in the past that doesn't mean anything. We've had people break under 21 records. I mean, Nketiah is there. No one's asking that why is he being called up, right?
I even forgot Nketiah.
No.
Right. Go.
So I think the question is, even if he chooses USA, the FA needs to be able to say we tried, right? We called him up. We did X. We did Y, and to the outside world, at least, it doesn't even look like he's on the radar because he hasn't done enough yet because he's just scoring goals in that little league in France.
You say the FA would need to say that they've tried. Why would they need to say that they've tried? The only reason they'd have to say that is if he comes back to Arsenal, bangs up the league, and everyone's like, "Oh, why is he not playing for England?" Right now, they don't have to say anything.
I'll give you a reason. They messed up with Musiala.
Yeah,
it's a different player though.
But
we don't know if Musiala.
It's the same thing.
They messed up.
But they never really messed up with Musiala.
They did because he was playing
I know he was
in the England setup.
He was in the England setup, but he wasn't English as such. He even come out and said it like he never really considered England. He felt German.
Yeah.
I just want to say just on that point, you bang up Eddie and Nketiah, and I think that's a good comparison for Balogun.
Yes.
Because the way Southgate sees it, Nketiah is above Balogun.
Yeah.
Because he's done it in the Prem.
Yeah.
And basically Southgate's looking at it, he doesn't rate the French league. I don't think Balogun was anywhere near getting in the squad. Nowhere near. I think he would pick Nketiah.
He has to come back to Arsenal.
Okay, but here's the thing. You can say that he might not rate the league, but he's playing against top level defenders. Maybe not every single week, but you can look at his performances against PSG. Both games this season, he's played out of his skin.
Bro, we can't get him to pick players in England.
But that's what we're saying. But to your point, to your question earlier, one of the things that football associations do look at is for all the people that are eligible, how many have we been able to put on the shirt for us? They all do it, right? Yeah. Especially the bigger nations. So when talents that were eligible for England, quote unquote, slip through the net or they pick a different allegiance, they do have a look and say, actually, did we do all we can? Because if the player just said, you know what, thanks you, man, but I'm done, I'm going to play for that's fine. But if they look at it and say, you know what, the guy was a top scorer in the league that Kylian Mbappe plays in, yeah? And even at that time, and everyone's right, he could come back to Arsenal and it's just nothing. Mm-hmm. But today, now, he's performing very well in a top 5 league. If that doesn't warrant just a call up, not saying he needs to even make bench, bro. Just a call up as recognition of where you're performing at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I do think that's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I think that's
what I'm saying.
Even if you get the call up, you say, right, I'm being looked at. They want to see what I can do. And to go back to your point about what can FA do, remember, Declan Rice played 3 times for Ireland before England said, "Oh, he's got something about him."
The men's first team.
Yeah. But he played friendly. He played friendly, so he could change allegiance.
So that's going back to what I was about to say next.
Yeah.
If he gets, let's say you get called up for England, and just came on the pitch, for the last 10 minutes, he can't go and play for USA after that.
No, I agree.
No,
that's
just unethical.
And it's not fair.
No, I understand
because
that,
he may not get another call up for England, and that's his whole international career done.
I agree, but let's separate two things. Let's separate what he would do. I'm looking at from an England point of view. Should they have called him up?
Win some, you lose some. You can't have every player playing for your country.
So you're going to basically tag him. You're basically going to call him up now, tag him, be like, okay, we'll have him. So put him on the fixture 5 minutes, and then think, oh well, we got him now. We can bring him back whenever we feel like.
There's plenty of players that have done that.
If he makes it, he doesn't. I don't think they should do that. And from Balogun's point of view as well, I think he should wait. He's 21 years old. He should wait. He's got time.
Agree.
I think he should only wait as long as his options determined.
Right.
If Balogun gets selected for USA now, he starts in that 11. They are definitely going to the World Cup. There's no one in that.
Southgate's right then.
In what sense?
To wait, not
pick him up.
I don't agree. And I don't think he plays. If he calls into this squad, he doesn't play ahead of Kane. He doesn't play ahead of Tony.
Yeah.
I don't personally think he plays.
Come on, he'll probably just
and I think
experience it.
Look at it realistically.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
If Harry Kane doesn't suffer a significant injury in the next 2 years, 3 years, he's starting for England at the Euros and the World Cup.
Yeah. No, I agree. And by the way, this is just saying, it's for a lot of these guys, in recognition. The amount of people that have been called up, they've had a good streak. We've never seen or heard from them again, right? But they got called up. That was the recognition. I don't know him, and I don't have all the facts. But if you put me on the phone with him today, go and play for the USA, bro.
Straight.
For your own personal career, go and play for the USA. You got to be tactical about these things, though.
I would choose.
Yeah. What would you do?
What would you, if I felt I was good enough, I'd wait. Because he's got time with USA. Because really, USA, they've got the World Cup in 2026.
Yeah.
So that's when you really want to be there because they're looking for a poster boy for that tournament. Your brand goes through the roof if you're the poster boy for USA for that tournament.
Exactly.
So
why not start now then?
Facts.
I think he's got time because it depends on what he would rather. Would you rather play for USA or would you rather play for England? If you would rather play for England, then I'd wait if that's what you want to do.
But what about the footballing benefits of being involved at men's level international setup? So at the moment, he's under 21s. It could even help his club career if he's regularly involved with an international team. What are USA? USA are not, they're not 100 ranked in the world.
They're climbing.
So he will go there, benefit from all the trillions of dollars they've got over there in sports side. So I think it's a cyclical thing, right? His actual club career could benefit from him being at a men's level international setup if he picks America or UK. Nigeria would have to have a different
I think he needs to, first of all, worry about his club, going back to Arsenal and then getting in there first before he starts thinking about international. I think you're skipping a step. He needs to make sure that he's a regular playing in the Premier League.
And you don't think that puts pressure on Arsenal?
I'm jumping ahead a bit, but do you think he stays at Arsenal next year?
I don't think so.
Because he's already touched on that.
I don't think he does. Nope. Like you've got Gabby.
Stays as in they sell him or another loan?
I
can see more another loan. Yeah, another loan.
I mean, like not in the Arsenal setup next year.
Yeah, I think another loan to a Premiership team. Yeah, a lower Premiership team.
Fair enough.
That's what I actually think. If I'm him, and this is the problem because he signed a new deal 2 years ago. He's got 2 years left. If I'm his agent, I'm saying, look, the clock's ticking. He's just, even if he doesn't score another goal for the rest of the season, he's scored 16, 17 goals. He wants to carry on that momentum. He does well again next season. Also, going to come running, we want to give you a new contract. We're back in the Eddie Nketiah situation again, right? So I actually think that he either goes on loan to a high level team next year. I can see a Prem loan next year, if I'm honest.
It might not even be Prem. Like he's put himself in the window. Like
what, loan wise?
Yeah, it's like he could be going Germany.
True.
He could go Italy.
But I think Arsenal would want to see him in the Prem. I think Arsenal would want him to go in the Prem. I can see like a Crystal Palace, someone like that.
Well, wherever he goes, I think it'll be no disrespect to Rem, but it'll be a level above. So maybe a Europa League team, someone that's playing 2 games a week, all the little things they want to see in your development. But then if you're Arsenal, he does that next season, then he's a year away. He's a year away.
So now the ball's kind of in his court.
Right. So that's what I'm saying to you actually. When you put that big picture together, go to USA, become a first 11 men's player in a decent level international team, keep doing your club thing, you will have the bit. What are you waiting for? What, to keep playing England on the 21s?
The thing is, if you look at the long term, USA, all right, yep, nice, good nation. In footballing terms, not the biggest.
Yep.
You could go to the World Cup. Potentially with England, if you become great, you could potentially win that World Cup. USA ain't going to win that World Cup.
How much is he going to play for that England team that wins the World Cup? Let's be honest.
Bro.
It depends on how good he gets. What if he comes to the Premiership and scores 20 goals?
Still alive.
If he comes and scores 20 goals like what he's doing in France,
who's he going to play ahead of?
Whilst Harry Kane is playing for England,
he's not playing.
He's not starting ahead of Harry Kane.
Kane is skipper as well. He's not playing.
Kane's getting on,
bro. Unless Kane is injured,
Kane could get injured. Yeah, he could get
Yeah,
injured.
I'm saying, but that's the only way.
Exactly.
There's too many variables.
And if Rashford carries on the way he's carrying on, he's starting before Rashford started before him.
Down the middle.
Well, if Gareth doesn't feel like he's mugging off to England,
this is another thing.
To be fair, apparently that wasn't Southgate's quote. It was someone said Southgate would be upset about Rashford. It didn't come direct from the source.
Okay, cool. It didn't come directly from him, but it's come from someone close enough to feel like they can talk for him.
I'm not gonna lie. These days, if I don't see you say it, or a reputable journalist quotes you, I'm not having it, because me, I can go and kind of say, Baba, I think Isaac would say X, Y, Z. Isaac like, bruv, nah, man. I didn't say that. Talking about, I don't agree. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. But probably he'd only say that because the backlash in the media, which is what's been happening. Fair enough. I
think to your point, Daz, if you're looking from a footballing point of view, England aren't missing anything from not calling him up immediate, like in the next cycle.
Yeah.
But I think if you look at it wider, and when you've got the head coach making comments about, we don't have enough players playing at elite level, you can be like, well, hold on, you do have players. You're not picking them. You're not doing some things that some would look at as a bit of a medium-term strategic option. Now, if you look at it from just the players' point of view, bro, we have seen so many players. You have to play games. You have to play as many games as you can at the highest level that you can. So if he has to, if he has to choose between under 21s England or knowing that he's gonna play for the US and get in that team,
under 21s,
just go, bro. You go and play for USA first teams, and just sharpen yourself as early as you can.
If you're Balogun coming back to Arsenal, what are you looking for?
To force your way into the start.
Good question.
You're asking Arteta for game time.
It's near impossible the way it is right now.
Move,
yeah, 100%.
One or the other.
And then if you do the business there, that's it.
I agree.
You
say should be, but Kane is still there, bro. It's not happening.
No. I'm not saying he's going to start, but he's going to be there. He should be there.
Yeah.
And that goes back to the point of going to play for the US. If he gets into the squad, how much minutes is he going to get based on the fact that Kane is still there? And then you've got Rashford and you've got Tony.
I don't think they're going to play Rashford.
Yeah, but the point is though, if he gets
competing with Tony, basically.
But if he gets, even if he just gets 10 minutes, bro, in a competitive game, he's written off.
That's why I said if I'm him, I'm probably going to the US.
Yeah,
and also you got to think about if he doesn't take the USA offer now, is it off the table? Like, they might.
Depends how he
always.
You never know.
Depends how he progresses. Depends how he progresses.
I'm saying if they say to him, like you say he's there now, and he goes, you know what, I want to see how it goes with England.
Yeah,
doesn't get a competitive cap. Then the USA might not say. They might go to him and say, you know what, I don't think.
I think because USA are still on the upward side of their footballing maturity, they'll always take talent that's good. I think the risk is, and I'm not an expert on the pipeline of USA players.
The MLS.
But I've not.
You don't watch the MLS?
Nah.
I'm not. Listen.
I've not even watched 7 MLS games.
You don't know who's coming through.
But the risk that is a risk in any of these situations. You don't do it, and then someone bursts on the scene next pre-season, starts batting up the MLS or gets a move to Europe, or someone like him who didn't even grow up there, but all of a sudden can play for US, and then. But I do think if there's a spot in the team, I mean, they need 2 or 3 people in the squad. I don't think in the next cycle, he's not at any risk of that. I don't think he's at any risk of that. But I think to kind of bring it back to everything, I think Gareth Southgate's in a place now where the results are backing up whatever methods he's choosing, whether we like it or not. But questions still remain about what methodology, strategy he's using to select the squad, what people have to do to make it into that squad, and actually, is he too rigid in his favourites, in in his bias towards the Prem, etc. Because you can't be going to pick players from the Championship when we've got people in top leagues doing it week in, week out. I just think that doesn't look great for him.